Adam White, Senior Director of Technical Marketing here at Sumo Logic. Welcome to Masters of Data today. I have with me Zoe Hawkins, Queen of Content at Sumo Logic, and Naomi. Naomi, would you introduce yourself? We're so excited to have you as a guest today.
Hi, sure. What's up, guys? My name's Naomi. I work at Contrast Security. I think it's the best company. I'm sorry for you folks over in
You
Sumo, but we
should
can
think
fight it
that.
out.
That's
We can fight
great.
it out. I'll see you in the parking lot after.
Yeah.
I know Kung Fu. No,
Okay.
I actually
Oh,
know. I'm
I
just
don't
kidding.
mess with security people. I don't
No,
mess with
no.
security people ever.
Let me start over. I don't know Kung Fu. I'm not going to beat anyone up. My name's Naomi. I'm very nice. Actually, guys, my name means pleasant.
That is
Look
so
at
fitting.
that.
I can see
So
it so
ironic.
much.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But
Love it.
about me, I'm the Senior Director of Product Security at Contrast, and we are an application security company. I'm here to talk with you guys about what, like the cool things that we can do together, what other people can do with
And
And
us,
just cool stuff that's going on.
just
We
cool
just want to
stuff.
geek out on interesting things,
Let's do
really.
it. I love
and
it.
there's
I
so,
love
so
it.
much. Naomi, I know when we were talking prior to this, you were mentioning an Anthropic report that I read, and it was super interesting, talking about, AI reports and what to look for in terms of like threats and indicators of compromise. Tell me kind of what you got out of that, and it's something for sure we can link in the episode as well, so people can go back to it and read this great report. But
Yeah, we're talking about hopefully the same thing, the threat intelligence
yeah,
report for the
yes.
past month, August. So I don't know when this will be listened to, but if you, dear reader, dear listener, if you're listening, the Anthropic's threat intelligence report of the month, August 2025. I think this is the first one that I've seen, Adam and Zoe, that had an interesting compromise. That was like, huh. Like everyone in security was kind of just waiting for the other shoe to drop. And this was the report. Finally, it happened. We knew it was going to happen. We just were holding our breath collectively. And now that it's happened, we're like, well, duh. Like you look at the report and it basically says someone used AI to hack other companies. And they use it this way and they infiltrated or compromised our model, our Anthropic Claude model. And they're like, this is how they did it. The first time I read that, I read it a couple times because the first time I was very angry. And
Mm.
this is why I was angry because Anthropic is basically like, we released this pet tiger. I don't know why it's biting everyone. That's exactly how I felt. I was like,
How could this have happened?
No
Yeah.
one
how?
could have foreseen
Yeah.
this
And
inevitable.
thank you. Thank you. And so I was pissed. And then the second time I read through it, I was like, this would make a great podcast with Sumo Logic.
That's awesome.
So you asked the question, the indicators of compromise. This is a good one because I think the indicators of compromise haven't really changed, but what they are doing is it's getting faster, and the the thing that security teams have to go against now is like, can they keep up, right? So
Mm.
everything about security operations and responding to incidents is time. If we are slow to respond to something, I mean, the average breach detection takes what, like 60 days?
Yeah.
Insane. So if we're here in the age of AI and AI is making attacking easier, it should theoretically make defending easier, but I'm not really seeing that. So indicators of compromise, I would say generally the same. There's going to be some new novel ones likely soon. Take a look at the threat intelligence report and just kind of think through it. Be like, okay, we're seeing these kind of things happening, and these kind of ransomware events happening, and these kind of network attack happening. These are the things that we're seeing on our network, blah, 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 blah. These are the things that you should still be looking for. This is your threat hunting or your indicators of compromise that you're looking for already. I would just say be a little bit more thorough in your critical thinking while you're looking at the threat intelligence report and seeing what kind of threats are out there today and how that might translate into your environment. I can't be
And
too prescriptive. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
no, I mean, I think that's just it. Like, I think, we talk a lot about like, am I looking in the right place? Am I prioritizing the right things? And so I think that kind of piece is still super relevant. It's like you said, they're just faster. Like
Faster.
the bad guys are so much faster than they used to be. And kind of better than they used to be. Like I think about it from phishing emails that I've been getting. They look so much better. I don't get the like grammar mistakes. I don't get the old tells that used to be so obvious are
Not
kind
as
of
obvious as it
gone.
used to be. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I mean, I almost can understand how so many people fall for phishing emails now.
Right. Like that
You know,
NPM person, the amazing
yes. Okay. Can we
Quicks.
yes,
We should talk
let's talk
about it.
about this.
Oh,
Let's
that poor
please.
person.
Been
Is
the
it
bane of
Kicks?
your
Quicks?
existence lately, right, Naomi?
Yeah, so okay, there have been two NPM breaches or compromises in
At
recent
the time of
days.
recording,
Yeah, so
let's
oh
be
my gosh.
clear.
So which one do we talk about? I would say the second one is a little bit more gruesome for me personally, because I'm still responding to it, still in the middle of that incident. Thankfully, we're not compromised, we're not susceptible to this thing, but I know a lot of the people who are possibly listening to this are, and so they're feeling the pain. Hug ops to anyone who's listening. Now I forgot the question. Can you repeat the
Well, just
question?
about like phishing emails and how that is changing the threat vector. It's almost
Oh,
like
the
a
NPM, yes.
knock on, it's like a knock on effect. Like AI can make phishing emails better,
So
which
much better.
then means you can have a situation like these NPM situations.
Yeah,
Because
so the
that wouldn't
first
have
one,
happened if the phishing
yeah, yeah,
email
yeah.
was obvious, right? Like we assume that this person would not have fallen for an obvious
For
phishing email.
sure. And I think the screenshot of the NPM phishing email got sent around and you look at it, you're like, that looks pretty legit, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I think attackers are just laughing at us now and be like, look how dumb everyone is. And I think with AI, we just have to be a little bit more on guard and go back to our basics and don't trust things and really just think critically, which is a good thing to do, by the way. You don't want to just take everything at face value. You do want to like think before you click, right? Isn't October Cybersecurity Awareness Month, I think?
It is.
Yay, yay. So do more of that. Think.
Just be more aware, think
Be more
more, be more
aware. Yeah,
critical,
because
trust less.
what is it like? You think you are the only person who can't get phished or attacked. Like
Mm.
even I will be like, I will never get phished. Like the other day, I don't get a ton of great phishing emails, I would say, but like here's a good example. I was looking for a good Lego deal. We do
Mm.
Legos in
Yes.
this household here, the Buckwalter household. And I found a website that had like really cheap Legos, right? And I almost clicked on it thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna get such a deal. And then like halfway through, I'm like, wait a second, it can
Wait
never be
just a
this cheap.
minute.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's one of those things where you still like your hubris as a security person is your downfall.
We
Yeah.
talk about that a lot, like
Yeah.
social engineering, Adam. I feel like we talk about that a lot on this podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely, we do. Yeah, and we are still humans. Like our emotions can just get the best of us sometimes. Like we see something that's, too good to be true or whatever, and we kind of cast that security persona aside for a moment. And yeah, I mean, with AI and with how good everything is getting, the kind of force multiplier that it's allowing the hackers to be better, faster, stronger. Everyone in general just has to have their guard up so much more than you even did 5 years ago. Because, like we're talking about, it's not always completely obvious, and things are, between like generative AI, using that as a tool to like make things look good and feel like you're actually communicating with the company that you think you're communicating with. It's just, yeah, it's a super interesting landscape for
Yeah,
sure.
and if you look at that threat intelligence report, it actually says this is how they used our model. One of the attacks was like, show me the top 10 companies that would fall for this type of attack, and
Yeah.
how would I best infiltrate them? What kind of message can I send them that would get me the most number of clicks, right? And like that's literally what the AI did in a matter of seconds. So instead of having the hacker or the attacker have to think through who should I attack, what should I send them, how would this work, they just typed in a prompt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In marketing, we talk about like ideal customer profiles. It's interesting
Hmm.
to think of like
Hmm.
ICP being turned against us in the hacker world, which
Ideal
I know is
victim
not a new
profile.
thing, but being able to do it with AI and say like who would fall for this and catering, that kind of like pathway for them like you would a marketing campaign is a scary and weird world.
So scary. And think about like what's happening in the social media sphere. If like all the things you put out there about your public life or in public about your private life, think about how that can be used against you too. Like a malicious actor is just going to scrape your public Facebook page, for example, or your Instagram and be like, oh, I know you were here and here and here the other day. What 5 emails can I send you that would be most clickable, right? Like those are
Yeah.
the things that you should be a little bit more aware of.
Yeah. And I mean, it's also not even just like a professional bad actor. I mean, I think
Mm.
about this in terms of like, I was just at a conference and learning all these cool ways that I could use AI and like make my own agents and use this tool, use that tool. You get someone who's not even like generally a malicious actor, but like wants a side hustle malicious act. I don't know. But they can make an agent so much more easily. They can make a 0-day threat without like deep technical knowledge in a way that, previously you really had to know what you were doing. Now you can just be like, hey, AI, make me blah, 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 blah. And like it can do that, which is pretty
Yeah, which
scary.
is why I was mad at the report because I was like, Claude, how did you make this so easy for them to do? And then you'll take a look at their like transparency and security page, and they're like, we
Hmm.
do all these things to make sure this could never happen, and yet you're writing a report about it happening.
This could never happen except for last month.
Yeah, and like, is there a phrase for this in English? I'm sorry, like sometimes my English is not great, but is there a way to say like, it's like gaslighting a little bit, right? So you
Mm,
built something for them to use, or you're giving them this information, and since you've used it, now you've hurt yourself,
yes.
right? Like,
Yeah, like
what?
like an
Yeah.
entrapment kind of thing or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
So anyway,
super interesting.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I mean, I have to hope that it also makes defending easier, right?
Mm.
Like, I have to hope that if this is your pet tiger metaphor, like if everybody's getting a pet tiger, like, do I now have what is the term for a group of tigers? Is it also a pride like it is with lions? I don't know. This is something for our
I hope
listeners
to
to tell
never
me.
find out, by
But I
encountering a
want
group of
that. I want my
tigers. Yeah.
pride of tigers, or
Yeah.
whatever
yeah.
the gaggle word is for my group of tigers.
I know we're laughing
Um,
about it, but you're right, it's serious.
like it is, and like I want this, but like as someone trying to do good, I also want my tigers. Like I also want an army of AI agents that fights on my behalf. I don't know. Like, are we seeing that? Are we
Oh
seeing
yeah,
like defense
absolutely.
AI keep up with the attacking AI?
Ooh, are we seeing defense keeping up with attack? Oh, I mean, I don't think we've ever been able to play keep up.
We're
It's
always
always a
behind.
Always,
proactive,
yeah.
defector. What's that word?
Defense
Reactive.
playing deep.
Yeah,
Yes, reactive.
reactive.
Yeah.
It's not proactive many times. We do talk about security controls and defense in depth and stuff, but at the end of the day, like the tech is going to move faster than security. Security is always a laggard. Think of if you can think of anything that was built with security first, like I can't think of anything, but
Hmm.
anything technical that has been an innovation for humanity has always just worked. And then security is like tacked on at the end, right? So same thing with AI. AI is moving so fast and the tools that are coming out are so cool and people use them. But then at the same time, they could also be like that pet tiger and come back and bite you.
Mm,
Yeah. There's the
yeah.
real, I mean, I think with everything AI, there's a real kind of, can we trust it? It's like this thing that seems powerful. Maybe it seems like a tiger, but it's, you know, it's like an
A house
alley cat
cat.
being a
Yeah.
tiger for Halloween or something,
Oh, what's that movie with the water gremlins? Gremlins?
Yeah.
Gremlins?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is how old we are, dear listener. We are
Yeah,
I
so
love
exactly.
old.
it.
We're referencing 80s movies.
That's right. Have you seen, Naomi, like examples of people almost kind of like relying on AI too much? Like, oh, it's got our back, it's going to, do these grandiose things and it either doesn't deliver or isn't there yet. Like, have you seen any of that kind of taking place in the
I
market?
would say at the personal level, yes. When people
Yeah.
are using it more and more every day, including myself, it's very, very tempting to just outsource the thing into someone else's brain, the computer's brain. At an enterprise level, I'm seeing it slowly being adopted. I just had a conversation with a good friend. She is one of the security leaders at a very, very large mutual fund company. I'll just leave it at that.
Hmm.
And she was mentioning, hey, we're slow to really use AI in kind of our bigger processes and our bigger tools and the things that actually matter to the company. But what they'll do is like, okay, we can use ChatGPT to help answer questions or write an email, right? Like those are things they're starting with. Maybe in the future, they're going to feel more comfortable with AI being a bigger part and bigger presence in their environment. But right now, at the company level, no. At
Yeah.
the individual level, for sure, for sure. But not, you won't see a big AI tool at any time being like, we're going to use AI to do all your security now. Like that still doesn't exist.
Does that mean that you're also seeing shadow
Oh, yeah.
AIT as well? Like people,
Shadow
oh,
AI.
you let me have ChatGPT to write this email, let me also just, as long as I have that tab open, do all these things I'm probably not supposed to do with
I
it.
think so you just invented a new term. It's shadow AIT. That was brilliant. It was
She's
brilliant.
good at that on this podcast. Like we do a
We
Yeah.
lot
have a
of,
blog about it. I
yeah.
can't take all the credit for it. We do have a
Gotcha,
piece
gotcha,
about
gotcha.
it,
It's
but
pretty good.
yes,
I love
it's
it.
pretty
I mean,
good.
it's just human nature. If you've got something free and easy to use, why the heck not? Like, I would almost feel bad to be like, no, you can't do that. They're gonna find a way to do it. Like, forget security. I'm gonna do it anyway. And that's always been the case. It's just like easier them to do it now. So make friends with your developers, make friends with the people in your company because they're gonna do it anyway. You'd rather know about it. That way you can help them and guide them and give them controls if you need to.
Yeah. I know one of the things that we obviously we're in the logs business and dealing with just vast amounts of data. I mean that's definitely an area where I think people are happy to like not necessarily turn the reins over to to AI to do things. There's some slowness of adoption there, but definitely like something that AI is super good at is just summarizing large troves of data and making those things kind of easy to understand. Like, are you seeing more of that from an enterprise side or like on y'all's side with like applications? What are some of the kind of cool ways or cool things that people are excited about on that front?
Data lakes and data science has been around for a while. I think AI is helping out with that. So instead of having a single person, or sorry, a single team of like 30 or 40 people doing data science things, data engineering things, now maybe you'll have like 3 or 4 people using AI to help consolidate tools and look at data sets and create patterns and whatever the data scientist people do. I'm trying to make stuff up here, but I would say like doing their things to extrapolate information to help their companies. Like that's what their data engineering teams do. I
Yeah.
could see them using AI. Absolutely. I would say if they aren't doing that, they're probably doing a disservice for their company. So yeah, I, hopefully that answers your question, Adam.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
The answer
yeah.
is yes, for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, I guess that also goes with like, I mean, I feel like everybody is playing with vibe coding now. But as you said earlier, like people build a thing and then they're like, whoops, I forgot to think about security. But obviously, like you as a security professional, like you do think about security, probably more than I do. I will confess. So, as you kind of build things or as you play with these tools, how are you kind of approaching the tinkering and the play and the like
Mm.
exploring these new things and the like let's not forget to also make sure this is at least somewhat secure.
Yeah, so when I use AI, I already know what my output should look like. So it's just very interesting because I have the years of experience. It is helpful to know like what I expect to see from the thing. So I use
Mm.
my AI kind of like as a junior or mid-level peer or a coworker to be like, I'm going to outsource this thing that I'd like you to do for me. Give me back X, Y, and Z in this particular format that I'm looking for. So it just gives me a really easy way to get what I know I'm going to get anyway if I were to spend the time doing it. It's just with
Right.
AI, it makes it a lot faster. So this is anything from writing code to creating new tools to doing security architecture reviews, threat models, and things like that, where I already know what the end result should be. But using AI, it just makes it a lot faster. And therefore, I can do more and faster.
Mm.
So it is helpful. So that's personally how I do it. But I think the trap is then like if companies were to say, okay, now I'll just hire the one person who might not have as much experience or whatever to use AI and do all these things, it becomes this chicken and an egg thing. It's like how much are you aware of that you don't know? And how much do you know? And then when you marry the two up, it's like, I hope you don't miss anything because if there is a gap at any point, you could potentially blow up in your face.
That is an interesting element. Just kind of, you could shrink a team down to the point that you really don't have the expertise any longer to know if what is being created by AI or generated by AI is sufficient. Like it might pass kind of the sniff test of someone who doesn't have the years of experience to know if that was a good output or not. And so I can definitely see from a team perspective, that being something to be super cognizant of as we continue down this path. You could
Yeah,
find
yeah.
yourself in a pretty bad spot and not even necessarily know that you're in a bad spot.
Oh, well, yeah. Who knows when they're walking off a cliff, they're actually doing it, right? They're always
Yeah.
thinking like, hindsight's
I hope I
2020.
would notice if I walked off a
Oh,
cliff.
I would too. But, oh my gosh. I think most of us just we don't know what we're doing and talking about anyway. We're just
I
kind of
love it.
winging it. Everyone's winging it.
Everybody's winging
Everyone's just
it.
winging it all the time. And even like right now, I might be winging it, right?
Oh, I
But
love
I'm very, at least I'm earnest. Like I could tell you what I think might happen. I think our jobs are very much at risk here. Like if you just look around, you could see the results of people adopting AI in more of the roles, replacing the roles, or either outsourcing it to people who are cheaper, who are using AI. That is very much a thing. I think in the long term, the jobs will come back. They'll just look vastly different. So
Mhm.
somebody with very good critical thinking skills and great emotional intelligence, great communication skills will have a job in this new day and age of AI. They'll just use AI as like their pocket assistant. They'll be able to do anything they want because they have the ability to connect as a human to more human level things because that computer still won't be able to do that. That's how I feel. Now, the people who are very siloed and doing the one thing that they're very, very good at for years and years and years, they're going to have a little bit of a harder time adjusting to this new reality in the future where you do need to have that more like all encompassing emotional intelligence, human connectivity, the ability to think critically about things and to have independent thoughts versus rote memorization for things or just following a script.
Yeah, I think about this a lot from like a skills shortage perspective. Obviously, like, so queen of content at Sumo Logic, I work with a lot of content creators. Like that's kind of where my head initially went to with AI was suddenly, people were sending me things being like, I wrote this piece. And I'd be like, did you though? Like, did you write this or did ChatGPT write this? Because I'm seeing some phrases that are dead giveaways.
The M dash, the
Uh,
M dash.
Like you wrote a prompt, not a
yes,
paper.
you wrote a
Yeah.
fantastic prompt. Did you read this before you said you wrote this? But in any event, like there is that piece of, you know, again, like I talked to other content people, and there's some real concerns about like how are we nurturing junior people who are trying to enter this space? Like I can go into Claude and I can work with it to write something because I can say like, oh, I like this phrase, I like this word, I like this sentence, and
Mm,
kind of Frankenstein out what I like from what the AI created or how it was helpful as a partner in the process of organizing thoughts or whatever that looks like. Um, but still own that creative wordsmithing piece of it because I have these years of doing this that I know what good looks like. And
yeah.
you were saying, you have this years of like, working with what the end output is supposed to look like. And so you feel very comfortable. Like if you put something in AI and it spits it out, you can be like, no, no, that didn't do
Like
it.
try
Like try
again.
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like let's tweak that prompt a bit. Um, but I am curious, like same sort of thing on the security side. Like we've been talking, I feel like I've been talking about this almost my whole career about a skills shortage. I feel like
Mm,
that has just been pervasive forever of there just aren't enough people to go around. People don't have these skills and it keeps evolving and all of that. I wonder there if it's almost the same thing of like people become very dangerous because they have AI
mm.
and they think they have skill when they actually just have an AI friend that has the skill-ish. Like I'm very curious kind of where you think this could go. Like, that good idea, bad idea of like where this could progress now that we have AI at our fingertips.
That's a great question, Zoe. Well, I want to turn it back on you, but give me what your initial thought. Like, what do you think in at least security, since you're in our space? But what do you see?
I mean, I think that it's also really going to depend on the teams and the companies and their cultures. Like, I feel like every company, as much as I always joke like that there's 10 people in tech and we all know each other and just kind of cycle through through working together, I feel like there is each culture at a company is different in terms of what they value, how they place value on skills, which skills specifically are most important. So like Adam talked about, like we talk a lot about, the scale of volume with logs. Some companies really value that, and some that's not their jam. Like that's maybe they have a different emphasis, and that's okay. Philosophically they're wrong, but whatever. But like there is that piece where each company maybe has like, different in their industry, they might have different types of areas of compromise that they need to focus on, or it might just be as a team that they care about certain things more than others. So I think that that would probably influence how much they would take on with a junior employee, or how much, comfort they would have with saying like, hey, here's someone who's curious about security, who's maybe working in a technical role in the organization, who wants to transition into security, and we can give them our AI tooling to help them as they up level into that role. That could be a really great kind of bridging tool for someone to get up to speed and know what they're doing if they have a really collaborative, helpful team around them.
Hmm.
My concern is if you have like a startup or a very, very lean team where they're like, oh, we don't have headcount for security. Don't worry, we've got security GPT who will do it for us. And I think that's where things can get
It
real
could get
scary
real
real
fishy.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I agree 100%. I mean, there's no notes there. I would not add anything. The only thing I would say from personal experience is like, even before AI was a thing, junior roles in security were so rare. And
Mm.
I've always made the pitch out to anyone who would listen that we do need more security people. We need more junior people first because we just need more security people in general. And you got to start somewhere. So you might as well hire a junior and got to teach them. And because they don't come out from nowhere, right? And that's still true. I think AI, even with AI, we still need security people. Now, does that mean
Mm.
full-time security people? I'm on the fence, maybe not. Maybe we can all be security people. We need more security people in general. Sure. Can everyone be doing security? Yeah, maybe, because now we have AI, we can be a little bit smarter in our day-to-day, no matter where you sit in an organization, what you do, what your role is. You can use AI, that little pocket assistant, to help you do your job a little bit securely, a little bit better. And that might mean fewer full-time roles, and that's okay. I think by the time we are all said and done, maybe like in 20 years from now, we'll see a totally different future where companies are a lot smaller, they're a lot leaner, and the people they hire will be those wearing many hats and experts in none of them kind of thing. But having that pocket AI in there to help with the day-to-day tasks. But the day-to-day tasks will be a little different too. I think it'll be more strategy, it'll be more collaboration and understanding how humans work and what they want, and less of the building out spreadsheets and setting up different programs to do different things. Like a lot of the work that we do right now, I call bullshit, but the bullshit work we do will be largely farmed out, in my opinion, to AI. And the rest of the time, the rest of the people in the companies, we will be doing things like thinking of new ideas and different projects and different things we can work on and solutions, problems to solve. Oof.
It is interesting, this conversation of, skill and with junior employees. I talk all the time about how I have conversations with AI, just you like, it's not just about I'm going to type in a prompt and I get an answer. It's, you kind of continually build on the information that it's giving you. It is such a good opportunity for junior employees to kind of build up their skill. So if they're using it to learn, if they're using it to better themselves, if they're asking it to give them scenarios where, they can kind of gain, and it's not real world experience, quote unquote, but at least gives you familiarity with things enough where, when you when you have a real world scenario in front of you, you can recognize it, some pattern recognition of what has been done before, those kinds of things. So like, is it just something that you use in a transactional sense where I'm trying to get an answer, or is it something where you're trying to actually build yourself up using the vast, information that's kind of at your fingertips? So it seems like some of it at least is a mentality
Mm.
as well with AI of like how we see it, how we use it, and how we, to your point, Naomi, like it's hard to break in from nothing. So is AI something that helps you not start from nothing to a degree?
Yeah, I would hope so. Yes. So I know of at least one company. It's one of the big four consulting firms. They still hire junior people. And this is what they do. They use the junior people with the AI and they start them off as managers. They're not entry level analysts or whatever they used to do. They are now managers and the people under them are AIs. And
Mm.
so they're using the managers and the AIs as their direct reports to essentially do roles that an entire department can do or entire teams can do, because they're hiring these folks and I think they're just college kids at this point, straight out of school, and they're resourceful, they're intelligent, and this has always been true about our youth, by the way. They're flexible in their thinking, they're digital natives, they're excited to be working, and a lot of us aren't. All right, they got that energy, they got that youthful enthusiasm that I
Right.
used to have, and they're
Slow
and they've
down,
got great ideas.
whippersnapper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so old. And they've got those ideas and the big problems they want to solve. And so why not hire them? They've got the
Yeah.
energy and the means of execution. They could do it. So I've always been a very huge fan of juniors for that reason, because they give us something that we severely lack, which is like original thought and energy. But the second this, I will caveat that and say, the second I see evidence of that not being true, where like college kids are coming out of there and they're not thinking and they don't have big problems they want to solve and they just want to just get by, like at that point I will have lost faith in humanity.
Yeah. What you said, like we're getting farther and farther away from being able to explain our jobs to our grandparents, is like what comes to
Mm,
mind. Like, so what do you do? Well, I have an army of AI robots that work for me. It's
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
not something my
I,
grandparents would
yeah,
understand.
I'm an AI manager. Like what?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I think a lot of the bullshit tests that we do today will largely be gone. I think a lot of the
Mm.
roles today will largely be different. Instead of just hiring for like an AppSec engineer, right? It's going to be, you can be a person. We're going to hire you to do anything. You can do anything you want. We're just going to hire you because you're intelligent, because you're resourceful, because you think critically, because you're good at communication and emotional intelligence. Because you're all of these things, we're going to hire you. We're hiring you as a person, not as a person who does a thing, because
Yeah,
now you as a person can do many things.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's like
that's
what my
cool.
mom always told me. I could grow up to do anything. So
Exactly.
now we're telling
Exactly.
that
But
to
this
everyone
is,
else.
I see this being at least 5 years or 10 years, if not more, in the future. Yeah. In the meantime, traditional roles will be dying out. I'm sorry. I
Yeah, I
just
mean,
see
I
it
think
happening.
I think about that a lot as well. I talked to Adam about this quite a bit, where I'm like, my prediction for like 3 to 5, maybe 5 to 10 years from now is that AI will be like internet. No one says they're an internet powered business. No one says to someone like, "How are you using?"
www.
Yes, exactly. Like no one says like, "How are you using the internet to innovate in your business?" Like that's not a thing. But it was for a while. Like there was a stage when it was like, I'm a
Right.
plumber and I don't need a website. And it's like, yes, you do. Everybody needs a website. Everybody needs AI
I'm
eventually.
online.
Yes, exactly. And so I think eventually everyone will have AI. Everyone will have the little robot in their pocket or the tiger,
The
whichever
pet tiger.
analogy we
Yeah.
go with. But everyone's going to have that. And then it becomes like, all right, how does that then, what are you doing with it? What makes it
Yeah.
special?
And how exciting for us as a society. If we can figure out the whole capitalism thing, which I have like I'm iffy on, but if we can figure out a way to come together as a society to solve our biggest problems using AI, I think at that point we will have a great life. Like our communities will be safer, we'll be cleaner and happier and healthier, and like all these things that will make us just have a better life. And imagine shipping out all the bullshit work to an AI. Yeah, let the robots do the work. Of course. Why the heck not? We should be enjoying ourselves in this
This
life.
is what we were promised with computers. We were
By
told computers
computers.
would do it. We were told internet would do it. Maybe this time we get it right. Maybe this
Yeah, like
time the
why
AI
are
can
we
do it.
suffering? We can solve big problems. Like I was having this conversation with one of these entrepreneurs for a small security startup, and he was gracious enough to give me an Uber ride to the airport. So we had this long conversation. And he was basically saying like how he wanted his company to solve a problem and all this stuff. And I was like, that's awesome. And because I was just looking around as we were driving, I'm like, we have so many problems just by driving to this airport. Let's talk about some of these. And then like we had talked about everything from like the tunnels being super dirty and like little things like the dirt on the road and the traffic and the lights not being synchronized. Like those are the things that I'm like, we can fix these as individuals. We all have our thing that we want to be
This
like
is
leave our
all within
mark
our
on.
power to
We
fix.
can
Like,
totally
why
all
not?
do it.
Yeah.
And with AI as the pocket assistant, as like that very, so you guys know about general AI, right? And general intelligence, AGI, with a very, very smart machine helping you out. We can solve these problems as individuals, as communities. We can do this, and I'm really excited about that. But where we are as a society right now, it's almost like you're trading your time as a person for what you're worth to society. Like you're trading your time for money. I think it's going to be a little different in the future. It's going to be more of like, what ideas can you bring? Right. And then like the
Mm.
community is going to help you out that way. Like there's going to be some sort of like time money share. Like there's not going to be just money. It's going to be a lot more of like time trading. I think it's very interesting to me. I think we're at the cusp of society where we can do that. It's
That's cool.
I
I like
love
that.
that.
We're also
Yeah.
full circle, I feel like, because you said Naomi is pleasant, right? That's what that means.
yeah, does it?
Yeah,
I've been
isn't
told,
it?
yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Well, that's a very pleasant future that
I
you've
hope
painted
so.
for us.
Yeah, I'm
So
still very
yeah,
hopeful for our future for sure. But some days I'm like, oh, this shit they're gonna go to. Sorry, future Chris, like our world, and then I get all like Rumpelstiltskin on everyone. So, but I'm still largely hopeful, just because I think humanity is good inside. We're not like all sinners and stuff. What religions are trying to tell you. I think a majority of us do know what good looks like, and we try to aim for that.
that's
I
nice.
love that.
And the thought that AI can help with that is
Hmm.
cool. Humans and
Yeah,
machines working
as
together
as
for a
long
better
as
world.
we train our pet tiger to be good and not bite
Right.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, a force for good. That's
Yep.
right. Well, this has been a super fun episode. Naomi, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate your insights and for sharing your time and your personality with us. Thank you again, as always, Zoe. And thank you to our listeners for sticking with us. We appreciate you. Please subscribe if you aren't already. And thank you. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone.